Hello everyone, welcome back to EFCTV. So today I'm just going to do a little video on the players that we are linked with as of this morning. I've had a look through, had a look at certain players that we're linked with, and I've basically put this video together about the players' stats, and I'm just going to say my opinion if I think they'll be good for the club or not. So the first player that we're starting with is Ben Foster from Watford. He's 37 years of age. This season, he played 38 games and he got 9 clean sheets. He made 117 saves, which is 23 more than Pickford. Made a penalty save. Made 13 punching clearances. 25 high claims. 10 catches and 20 sweeping clearances. And then obviously clearing the ball, he threw it out 118 times, and goal kicks 295 he added them. So, on my opinion of if he'll be good for the club, so he's 37 years old, he's 37, so he's not getting any younger. Realistically, Pickford he's been very lazy in goal. And I think that's down to he's got no competition at the club. He hasn't got anyone there who can perform better, really. You know, we had Jonas Loschel out on loan second half of the season to Huddersfield. He obviously didn't get played because they didn't feel like he was good enough. Then all the other goalies that we have are young. So I think Ben Foster, he'll be good for a year or two because he still managed to pull off more saves than Pickford. He made 11 more sweeper clearances than Pickford. I think he done 6 more punches than Pickford. So just most of his stats were better than Pickford's, and I think for the age difference, realistically, we would probably get him cheap. I don't think his wage wouldn't be much of a problem. So I do think he will be a decent signing, but not for long term, only very short term fix. And with that, we are linked with another goalkeeper, Sergio Romero from Man United. He's 33 years of age, so obviously he's a lot younger than Ben Foster. So he's obviously got a good few years left in him. So this season he's played 17 games. So with Ben Foster, I had to do I've done his games in the Premier League. With Sergio Romero, because he hasn't played that many actually in the Premier League, I've had to do his cup games, his Europe games, so on and so forth. So he made 12 clean sheets, made 117 saves. He conceded 5 goals, caught the ball 9 times, cleared it away with punches 5 times, and successful distributions are 187. So clearly, when he gets hold of the ball and releases it, he can get it on target, which is obviously a very good attribute to have. So the thing with Sergio Romero is that for me he hasn't really been tested in the Premier League, because obviously they've always had David De Gea in goal, and I think now they've got Dean Henderson, sorry. So I do think he probably will eventually take over David De Gea in between the sticks at Old Trafford. So I just think right now, Sergio Romero, if we can get him cheap, obviously we're not going to get him for as cheap as what we get Ben Foster, but if we could get him for a decent price, I would preferably like to go with Romero, because I think he'd be more competition to Pickford because he's younger. He's got a lot more clean sheets, 17 games played, 5 clean sheets, conceded goals, 5 goals, so realistically that's 1 every game that he played. 117 saves as well for 17 games. He's done really well there, so I would much rather have Sergio Romero over Ben Foster. So our next signing is Lucas Ocampos, the Seville winger. He's 26 years old, so he's played 43 games this season in all competitions for Seville. he managed to get 17 goals and he's got 5 assists. He's pulled off an average shots per game of 2.6, which is very good. It's obviously nearly 3 shots a game that he's having. Average dribbles per game is 2.2, so he's obviously picking up the ball on that wing and running down the wing towards his opponent. And his main attributes is he's tall, he's a 6'3", he's a massive winger, so realistically he'll be a threat from set pieces as well. He's very fast, that's what he's known for. He's known for being quite fast. And he's a brilliant dribbler. He's got a lot of skill when he's on the ball. He's got a lot of flair to his play. But just as his 17 goals, that's a lot. Especially compared to what our players have been getting. I don't even know if Alex Iwobi scored. I know he scored in the cup, but I think that's probably it. Bernard, he's not really much of a goal threat, neither is Theo Walcott. So just them 17 goals, even if he just gets 8, 9, 10 in the Premier League for his first season, it's a massive boost to compare to what we have actually been getting. So I'm going to move on to our next player, which is Alessandro Florenzi. He's 29 years of age, so I've seen a lot of reports saying he's a winger. From what I know, he's definitely not a winger. He's a fullback. So this season he's played 32 games. He's got 0 goals, 1 assist. His average clearances are 1.3 per game. Average interceptions 1.1 per game. Average tackles 1. Average long balls 2.9. His attributes, so I put versatile, because from what I know, he can play on the wing. He is a fullback. And he can play as a centre midfielder as well if he's needed to. He's fast, he's very fast fullback, and when he's on the ball, he is good at dribbling. So with Florenzi, I think he would be he'd be good for the team. Because obviously our fullbacks are being Coleman. Coleman's getting on a bit now. Then we had Sidibe last season, who was just. He would have done better on a working building site, if I'm being honest. So I just think, I don't know if I want Florenzi for the fact that we've got John Joe Kenny back from Schalke, and he was I think he won a award for young rookie player of the season or something like that. And obviously, post lockdown Bundesliga, where the first league to actually start playing football games again. I did watch most of Schalke ones during that time. He just looked like a different player. He looked more mature. It looked like he thought more of what he was doing, and if he went in for a challenge, if he didn't make that challenge, what would happen? So he just looked like a more cautious player, which if I'm being honest, if we're gonna go and pay between 15 20 odd mil for Florenzi, I just wouldn't do it. I'd give John Joe Kenny a go, and maybe if he isn't performing as well, we all know Mason Holgate can do a job there, so stick Holgate there, let Keane and Mina play in the middle, and then when it comes January, then go out and buy a different fullback. But I just don't think there's really a need to pay that sort of money when we've got one who's just had a brilliant season on loan. So moving on to our next player, which is Allan. He's 29. Played 33 games for Napoli this season. He got 2 goals, 1 assist. His average passes per game is 35. Average interceptions is 0.7. Average tackles is 3. His main attributes are he's a tackler. He's only small, but he's very physical, and he's got an engine on him. He doesn't stop running. He keeps on working, no matter what. So the main thing we want to talk about with Allan is, for the price we're paying for him, people might look at that and think he's 29. Why are we paying up to 30 odd million for him? His average passes. makes like 35 passes per game, and I think that's just mental compared to like what our midfields have been doing. He's a very defensive midfielder, which is what we've been missing. Ever since Garner Gay left, we haven't really had that defensive player who can make challenges, and his average tackles per game is 3. So like he'd just be that Garner Gay replacement that we've been crying for since he left. So I do think he would be a brilliant sign, and especially to strengthen up our midfield at the minute. I know a lot of people go get on the back of Tom Davies, but it's for the exact reason, like why is Tom Davies playing in that position when we need someone better, which Allan would do that job. So now our final player is Corey. He's 27 years of age, so he's still got quite a few years left in him. This season he's played 39 games. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists, average tackles 1.7 per game, average shots 1.6 per game, and average dribbles 1.1 per game. His attributes is he's a tall player and he's very physical. So Decore, he makes a good few tackles per game. He likes to have a shot, and he's a decent dribbler. So he'd be more your box to box midfielder. Likes to push forward and join the attack at times. Obviously with his 4 goals, 2 assists, like for the squad that he was in last season with Watford, it was only really him and Delafeu that were able to produce like some goals as such. 1.7 tackles. He's probably better than most of our midfield at the minute. He'll get stuck into a challenge, he won't back down. I would like to see Decore come to Everton. Him and Allan in the midfield. I think it would be a brilliant partnership. Allan would be that defensive midfielder. Decore can do a job as a defensive midfielder if needed, but he'd also be that player who'd push forward and feed it out to the wingers and the attackers. I think that's just what Everton's missing at the minute. We haven't got that player who'll pick up the ball and run with it, and obviously then feed it to the attacking players at the club. So yeah, so that's it for the video. If you've enjoyed this and want me to do more videos like this, maybe daily, every few days, just let me know in the comments. Like the video and subscribe if you're enjoying the content that I'm starting to put out. So yeah, thanks for watching.